is the Men Behind the Mitts podcast. Hosted by Big J. And now, here's your favorite Buttes.
Episode 41 from Men Behind the Mitts, featuring myself, Big J. Hey, that's me. And that guy right there, Mr. Silky.
Yo,
he had no
what's
idea I was doing that.
I
love
was
you coming in
not
hot.
ready for that, yo.
What's up, bro? I'm so happy to see you. It's one of my favorite things about Sundays is getting to do this, man. How are you? I love to see you smiling.
I am doing well. Thank you for putting this smile on. Coming
Yeah.
in, crazy life, putting a young one down, just finished dinner, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's good to see you, brother. How's your weekend
Yeah,
been?
all good. It's good, man. I worked this weekend, but today and yesterday and today were like the first like full weekend I had in the house. So it was real nice, got to organize some more stuff. We got the garage cleaned up a little bit more. So man, me and Steve have been shooting so many damn pucks, dude. We must have shot 1,000 pucks. Like, dude, I'm telling you, man, like my wrist hurts, my side hurts from just twisting. Like we've been playing so many games of puck. So we'll have videos of that shit coming, which is pretty cool. We're just playing quick games of puck, man, playing pipes.
Your shot's gonna be
corners.
fucking disgusting.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling, dude. I hope so, dude. Like we've been ripping shots. Like I can't wait to send you some of these videos, man. It's the shots getting there, and dude, I'm gonna have to replace drywall like every dude. It hits the crossbar, it's like wham right in the ceiling.
You should just build like a dugout of cinder block.
Yeah,
like 4 foot out, and then like a little top.
Well, the problem is when you just hit bar out, like there's nothing that can.
It shoots up,
and it's like boom, boom. It's like drywall.
That's how you take out windows and lighting fixtures on the exterior of your home. Oh yeah, it's over there. We're good. I got the side nets.
I won't hit that. What? Yeah, man, it's been great. We've been shooting a lot of pucks.
The price to be a beauty, though. It's gonna pay off on the ice.
Hey,
you're just gonna come
fun.
off easy and just slink, and it's like, yo, that was nice.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely excited for it. But yeah, it's been nice just to relax this weekend and watching the game today. The Caps game today, that was nice, man. Got the victory, so it was a good way to cap off the Sunday. And
yeah, we'll jump into that doubleheader.
Yeah,
that was nice.
And preparing for the week, man. It's another week set up. I start a new class this week, so I'm kind of excited for that. We got the last class of this semester, and then we get summer break. Woo! So hoping to take advantage of my week again. It's tough, dude. But how about you, man? How's your weekend?
It was good, dude. It was good. A lot of hockey, a lot of high scoring hockey. I was watching hockey. I've got this Twitch thing set up now with Stevie B.
Yeah.
We get on there. We went on a nice 19-3 run this weekend.
Yeah.
So we're twitching now. So I'm streaming. So that's interesting. Another platform. It's like never ending. It's never ending.
Yeah, it's wild, man. We just one of our buddies, Will, man. Big shout out to him. He's always sharing our stuff on the Instagram, loving our stuff. But he's streaming, COD through Facebook, dude. And it's funny. It's just like to hear about it. He's like, yeah, some people make fun of me. Some people like it. I'm like, yeah, man, just doing your own thing. You're in your lane. You know what I mean? You found what you enjoy and do it. I always like it because you always like my stuff. So why wouldn't I?
That's tight to hear. So, man, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We like talk about our life and vibration, but
right.
Part of me feels like that's part of our little wave. Like that's out there. Maybe we might have slightly influenced his decision to do that. To see people do that, like people close to you start doing their own thing after you start doing your own thing is what I'm saying. It's inspiring. Like I was talking to Yardbirds. Yardbirds started talking about branding. Dude. And I was like, I reached out naturally, not just because it's Yardbirds. And I was like, dude, you need help with anything. Just shoot me a text, whatever you need. I got you. I'll point you in the direction I did.
I was really going to bring him up, man. Like we've been working together, fortunately for the last week. I haven't seen him in a couple months. So like when we get to work together, we just talk so much and cram ideas in. And I was, showing him the insights in Instagram, trying to help him get rolling and stuff like that and talking to him about his shirts and his ideas. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Like I'm planning on being involved with him, with the motorcycle and stuff like that. So it's definitely getting some cross-platform stuff here, and it's definitely exciting, man. It's cool.
That'll be big for men behind the mitts, because that's exactly what it is. This is the guys outside of the mitts when we're off the ice. A lot of people don't think it's just hockey. Like, no, that's our love, and we talk about it here. But mainly, it's like, who are these hockey players? Who are these beauties that once they step off the ice? Because we're you wouldn't know. You have no fucking idea, bro.
Yeah, it's fun, dude. I'm excited, man. And like you said, maybe this was what we're doing is helping just people like, well, they did it. I can fucking do it. Like maybe that's all.
That's what I meant by a small ripple. I'm not saying like they saw it like I want to be like them, but like you have a small ripple in people's lives, like something they would have never seen on a timeline. Well, now they see it because you put yourself out there, and they're like, wait, they're doing this.
Yeah,
I was going to do that. Yeah, well, yeah.
That's what's great about community, man. And what's dope is both those people, Will and Yardbirds, they both have been supportive since day one, dude.
Big shout out to Yardbirds coming through clutch, and Willie Nelson coming through on Silky Mitts early on, early in the early stages. So fuck yeah, for sure. And you know what, that's another way like people like are wondering like how to like change your life and be out there. Be so grateful for what you have and what you're doing that nothing's it's not you can't look at people like a competition. You got to be inspired to help.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Look at them trying to do this because no, you want to grow. You want everyone to grow, like everyone to be successful. It's more exciting that way to see like, oh, my boy's starting a car brand. My boy's over here fucking playing this and that and doing this on Twitch. Like it's wild to see everybody just doing in their own lane. And it's honestly, I was thinking about it the other day because I'm seeing it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I think Corona, like people had more time, and then like people, you know what I'm saying, started just like fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely, man. That's what we talked about too, and like like with coronavirus and all this stuff, dude. Like it was a lot of personal reflection for me because I was with myself a lot. Like I stopped going out. It was weird, and then you go through this phase where you did go out because then you're like, fuck it, and now you're back to like I'm not going out because it's just there's no point. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like it's such a weird thing in life. And it's definitely affecting everyone different, but man, like it's like I realized, like I needed my own space, and I was like I could, I'm going to work for that, and I really put that in high gear over the last year, and now I'm here, you know what I mean? And there's nothing better. It's so comfortable, and just like I know where I'm going, you know what I mean? It's just
that's because as a human, man, when we put our mind to something we truly internally honestly want, whatever it is, the smallest thing, like, oh, I need to make sure I make $1,000 by Friday to pay rent, or it's, I need to buy a house in 6 months. We find a way to fucking do it, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Astonishing.
It's always there.
It's always there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's always there. It's always there.
But to me, man, that's just a good representation of work. I took all the overtime I could, balanced everything. It's just made small sacrifices to it in the long run to have it, just like the same thing you're doing, just small sacrifices daily. So the end goal is there. It'll be there. And now we're chipping away at the next thing, and that's what's cool. That's what's really fun to me, man, is that like I said, when I had that spare moment, I was like, no, let's go make a video in the garage. So let's go shoot pucks. Like there's no, like, I don't even know how to sit down. Like it's so weird. Like I think that the last thing I watched was literally 20 minutes ago when you were like, hey, give me 10 more minutes. And I put on an episode of Ancient Aliens. Like I was like, God, no, I got lost immediately. I was like, damn it, Ancient Aliens. They like pulled me in immediately.
Just give me a quick, we don't got to go deep. What were you watching?
Mummified bodies with like holding things and like the way they're buried with crowns and stuff like that. Like the significance of them. Like I was just like, yep, it tells a whole story. You know what I mean? What's weird without getting too deep, those pharaohs and stuff from that time, they were planning their own pyramids, like where they'd be buried.
Yeah, it's like their whole empire ruling is planning their death. Like they're square. Like
then, their life expectancy was like 37 years. So by the time you were ruling, you were dead. It's so
no
crazy.
Shit, right?
It's so wild. But yeah, let's not get down that rabbit hole because we know it's one we like to go.
Speaking of this weekend, bro, I cut off all my fucking hair, but the flow is gone. Did? Yeah, dude, it's gone. Like
wow,
it's gone.
Oh, you just shorted it up.
It's gone on the back and the sides. I took it down.
All right, so listen,
wild.
You're talking about hair. And we were talking about Yardbirds, and it just clicked in my head. So you ever seen those videos on YouTube where the guys like they're bald and they get that like hair glued onto their head, and then they get it cut, and then they rock it for like 2 months. You can like swim with it. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen those videos?
Yeah.
So Yardbird's like, bro, you should do that like one time just to see what it would be like, get it styled like get like the fresh whatever. You know what I'm saying? So look, I looked it up online.
Yes.
It's seriously like $499 to get this process done. I'm not doing that. I'm not spending $499.
Why?
This is what I'm proposing. Can we start a GoFundMe for Big J's, I don't know, hairstyle or something? And seriously, if we can get there, like I'll put my own money in, like I'll put it in like $50 to get it started or whatever. But if we get it to $499, and then I'll let everyone pick how it gets styled, whatever. Like we'll do it. Like I'll fucking do it.
Yo, let's
This is
do
real.
that.
Like,
Let's
this is
do
real. We'll see
that.
if we can do it.
Wow, we'll have to gas it up. We'll get a photo of you, no bucket
Yeah.
on, and we'll do some photoshopping and throw some different images up there and let people vote.
Yeah. Like if we can raise the money, like
$1 a vote. $1 a vote.
I don't know. We need something, man. But
Oh
if we
man, that'd
could
be
really,
epic.
dude,
So
everyone,
what?
I don't
Wait,
even
now
know.
I'm curious. Before we jump into hockey here, would you go nasty like full lettuce? Like what would you
So
go?
it only does. So look, I'm so bald. I'll just show you.
Woo.
They only do like the top, like right here. So it's just like this top right here. So I would have to rock it would basically be like what your hair is, like whatever the cool new style is, like the up and over,
Like
or just
it's
like the
referred
top
to
and
as an
back.
undercut, where it's long like that
Yeah.
bread. Yeah,
See, I don't even know. I'm so not hip because I haven't
like
had
an
hair in
undercut.
10 years. Yeah, like an undercut, something like that. And maybe a hard line on the side. Yeah, we'll do
Ooh,
it. I mean, I'll do it. Come on,
legs.
son.
Can you
I haven't
see
had a
where
hair
it's
in a
glued though
while.
on the sides, and if the hair comes up?
Nah, like they legit like blend it in. Like it looks legit. That's what I'm gonna look so weird.
Wow.
But seriously, we should if
You
we
should
can
do
do
it.
it.
You know what you should do? You should do it and then go on vacation. Because then you'll really be yourself. Because you're not gonna worry about people seeing you
It's
because they've
like,
never seen you before. You really be like out there
whoa.
just like, this is me. This is my new hair.
That's what I said I would do it. And like, well, if we did it, like I would want to do experiments and we would do videos like me going around bald and being like, maybe try to hit on a girl or something. And they're just like, you fucking bald fuck, like something like that. And then with the hair, it's like, hey, what's up,
No,
ladies?
what you should do is like
Like,
drop off dry cleaning to a lady. Like, I need this picked up today. Okay. And then,
go bald and come back with
and then
hair.
the day you get the thing done, pick up your shit. And she'll be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man. I just know. Oh man.
Or like not tell your parents. That would be a good one. Just walk in the house with a fucking fresh cut.
Yeah. Like what? It looks so weird.
Wow.
I don't know. So let's see if we can raise the money.
I didn't even. The only thing I've ever heard of is where they pull the hairs from the back and do it up top, but that's like a pricey.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm not doing no surgery.
And then
no
it
way.
grows for reals though.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm not. I would just be bald. Fuck that.
Just be bald.
But this is like they just glue it on. It's like they glue it on and they just. I said design it. They
design it. They will do.
What do they do? Chip snap. I don't fucking know. Haircut it.
Chop it a style.
Yeah, undercut.
Wow.
Whatever. But yeah, I think we were geeking out at work about it, man.
That's funny that he brought it up.
Yeah, well, because he's a wild cat.
Oh man, that's so funny. Let's talk about some hockey, baby.
Let's switch gears. Switching gears.
Now
the boys are moving to sports. NHL. I thought you were gonna say something. I think it was too quiet.
I was thinking about doing the Fern thing again. I was like, too much Fern. Too much Fern.
Too much Fern. Too much
Fern. Shout out to On the Bench. Those boys are classy.
Sports.
All right, let's talk about the North, dog. Let's just get to it.
North.
No. Matthews is out, bro. Toronto's in first place. Matthews out. They're playing against Edmonton this weekend for a battle of first. Edmonton in second. Matthews is out. Who do you think is going to step up from Toronto?
Matthews is out. I'm loving my boy Mitch Marner up there, brother. Dude. 22 games played, 10 goals, 22 assists, 32 points on the year. Let's go, man. My man has been his speed, his IQ. He seems to find that open ice, and what's even better, he puts himself in a position where he creates space for other people. That's why his assists are up there. He makes it so easy, and also he's dishing the puck to AM. But I mean, he's out, so I expect him to step up, man. Who are you looking for? Toronto to step up? I know I'm liking Marner.
Bro, yes, and we saw it quick. No surprise, I think. The guy's been waiting for a moment to shine. Is Nylander, bro, stepping up and
Yeah.
putting some points on the board. Come through clutch the other night, tying the game, then winning it in OT. I think maybe Nylander could be a stud if he leaves Toronto, bro. I think he's another Burakovsky. You know what I'm saying? Where if he goes to
Right.
another team, he could really flourish and get that first line responsibility. He's a stud though, dude. He
And
really is.
we've seen that happen, and especially with the way Toronto is playing this year. And we talked about them all last year. That shooting squad is just insane, bro. They can put the puck on the net, and sometimes a guy like Nylander, his fit or his almost like it's just time up with the team can happen like that. So
Yeah.
sometimes a little bump
Matthews
doesn't hurt.
Matthews and Marner combining for fucking 60 plus points for the season
That's
together already.
disgusting.
Yeah, unreal. 22 assists on Marner, 18 goals for Matthews. It's Toronto's fucking scary. I saw something the other day where it was kind of interesting to think about. It was like it's almost like 4 individual leagues, and at the end they meet up.
Right.
And I was like, that's so true to think about, and that's kind of cool to think about. And the NHL being broken down into 4 leagues essentially, by division. But after Edmonton in second, who by the way, unreal McDavid, bro. Like I know we talked about all 3 M's last episode, but there's not much more to talk about when these guys are just producing the way they are night in, night out. Draisaitl is also a stud, but after that, we're still having these conversations about Oilers. Do they have the roster to make a deep run? They're in second now. Is this something they're going to hold on to?
Yeah, this is something that we've mentioned about the North Division because it is a weaker division there, and they're just playing each other. Is this what's going to happen? Are they going to make the playoffs and the North is going to be not showing up? Is Edmonton going to be able to compete? Is what you're saying? And I don't know, man. Are they really truly being tested? Is it just Toronto and Edmonton going back and forth? I mean, not to discredit, Winnipeg and Montreal, but Montreal seem their flame kind of is flickering right now. Not to jump ahead to them, but that the top division, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, Winnipeg in 4th, sitting right behind Edmonton at 27 points, and then Montreal right behind them at 23rd and 4th. It's interesting to see how the North is playing out. Listen here though, like not to just go back to where we started, but Toronto's at 34 points. They've kind of starting to pull a gap here.
Yeah.
Edmonton, I think they're getting points right from other players. I mean, it's the same as Toronto. They got their 2 top guys, and then Tavares is I think 19 and Nylander second line 18. The same thing with Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins is sitting at 19.
Right.
But then after that, their 18 point guy is Tyson Barrie, and that's your defender. The next most points, Darnell Nurse, 16. Your next offenseman isn't into 11 points at Yamamoto.
Right.
That's a problem. That's great that their defensemen are scoring like that, but I feel like it shouldn't be such a drop off to your offenseman 19. There should be 2 or 3 guys tied at 19 if your defenseman's putting up 19.
Right. I mean, that's the goal, obviously. That would make a well-rounded hockey team, which is why this team, I think, they go back and forth so much. Because like you said, there's that top 2 lines, they can't carry the team. You got to have a consistent 4 lines. So I don't know, man. I think that's something they're going to have to battle with when it comes to playoffs, because that's when that stuff really gets exposed. Because those playoff teams that are really making a Stanley Cup push, they've got all 4 lines are dangerous. You know what I mean? A prime example is the Capitals, and all 4 lines are dangerous. So, Boston's squads like that. The East is so different. I feel like the East is just so different compared to the North.
There's just more teams that are built for deep.
Right.
When the North has a lot of 1-2 combos. You know what I'm saying? And then their 3rd, 4th has like 1 producer maybe, and the rest is honestly a fighting ground. You could slide guys in and out where it's hard to get a spot. Look at Sprong, for not to talk on Washington, but he's on the taxi. He comes in 3 goals, 3 games, then sits on taxi squad for a few games, then gets brought back in, and first game back scores again. Like that, and he still doesn't make the team. You know what I'm saying? He's still,
Yeah, it's tough.
like that's good. That's the type of problems you want to have. You want to have a guy that's producing every time he touches the ice on your taxi squad. I don't think a lot of the teams in the North can say that, you know?
Right.
Montreal, though, they're going through some issues, getting rid of coach, sitting in fourth. They had a great start. GM saying he noticed tendencies that he noticed before when they went on one of these runs. Droughts there, better word for it.
Right.
Pulling the trigger. They're still in fourth though. They could. I don't know. We've seen it before where teams get a new coach mid-year and they go on a fucking run. We know they can play great hockey because we've seen it the way they came out.
Yeah, they just shake it up, and sometimes that's what a team needs. And you know what's a little bit different in this year with Toronto is they're really splitting time between Price and Allen. I really feel like the Price effect is not in motion this year. That's something that we preached on last year, and I feel like Price is might be a reason why they're not able to keep that upswing. I mean, he's 5-4-3. I mean, and Allen's 4-2-2. So I mean, and it's tough. Their goals against average for Price is over 3 a game, and Allen's is over 2 a game. And you know, when you're getting 3 goals scored on you, it's tough to win games consistently.
Yeah, you gotta start to wonder here. Carey Price, another Lundqvist, never gonna win it. Had the hype of his few years being a great goalie, but now riding off those years. What do you think?
It's crazy to think about because we talk about like it's our generation, man. We're just seeing the greats and like we're watching their careers like come to ends, and it's like, how is this, like, what is like it doesn't make sense sometimes. Like the NHL without Carey Price, the NHL without Lundqvist, and these times are here. You know, like Lundqvist is out. I mean, will he ever play again? We saw him, on the ice. It's awesome to see him out there, but can he ever safely play in the NHL again? The heart beating 180 minute, 188 BPM in a shootout. Is that something we can do? I don't know. So, but Carey Price's time, this might be it. Another one, man. Another great to not seal the deal. It's unfortunate.
You think he leaves Montreal at some point? He's got to, obviously. I think Montreal would move. They have no issue moving him. I think what do you think? Would you move a Carey Price, or would you ride him out to the end, knowing that he's that good and all you have to do is put a team in front of him?
Yeah, I'd ride him out, but I mean, that jersey's going to be hanging in Montreal regardless. It's one of those scenarios to me. Yeah.
No way, I don't think so. He
doesn't win
a cup, like all the greats that they've been there and won the cups. No way.
It's crazy.
I think that's how you determine. You know what I'm saying? That's how you really not to shit on anybody's parade, but like that's the question, right? You win a cup. Did you win a cup? You know what I'm saying? That's the question. And
oof, how brutal
to be able to check it off and say, yeah, like even if you did nothing else, but even if you weren't a goal scorer, you know what I'm saying? Especially back in the day, you never scored a fucking goal in your life, but you know what I'm saying? You did your part. To win a cup is everything. That sets you above some of the greats. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they scored this many goals, but never won a cup.
Yeah, that's tough, dude. I don't know.
Tyler Toffoli, though, leading Montreal in goals with 12. They've got to get some guys scoring. They got to get hot up in Montreal, and we'll see what happens with their rounding out the bottom.
I mean, Shea Weber's he's a defenseman. He's got 2 goals in his last 5 games. He's kind of shaping up. Jeff Petrie, same thing. He's putting up points for a defenseman. A lot of 12 assists on 20 games. They just got to get the stuff going. He said you got to get pucks in the net.
Yeah, 100%. Calgary, then Vancouver and Ottawa finishing off in the.
Man, I tell you, it's crazy to think. I love Ottawa only because of Tkachuk and Stützle.
Yeah, I think everybody does now.
Yeah, dude, what a bromance, dude.
Stützle is a fucking stud, bro. Been saying this shit since before World fucking Juniors. He's a fucking stud. Really stepping out and putting some fucking points on the board for his rookie fucking year. Unreal, dude. Yeah. And the Tkachuk brothers, them playing back and forth here recently.
Yeah. That
really sparked some fucking interest in Ottawa, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely, man. I enjoyed seeing them at the red line, talking it out, chirping. Whoever knows what they were saying to each other, but it's definitely interesting to see that.
She get mom's fucking text. She wants us home for Christmas. I'm going to fucking Vegas. What the fuck is she talking
going to
about?
Vegas with the boys.
True shit, right? Hey, though, Brady, the Ottawa side, sticking there. Yeah. Brady with 9 goals, 16 points. That kid's the real deal. You think he's going to produce more than his brother?
I don't know, man. It's tough to say. I mean, it's tough to say. I love Brady's attitude on the ice, man, off the ice, to see how he reacts to his players. Great assistant captain. I can see a C being on his chest in the future for sure. He's got a great attitude, man. He gets the boys fired up. But as far as burying more than his brother, he's on the Senators, so it's got, you know what I mean. You got to have a team effort to surround yourself to stack points like that, you know.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. I feel you. You want to jump over to the East now? Let's jump over to the East. Yeah, let's jump over
the
to
beast in the East.
Or you know what we should talk about? Let's save it. Let's wait because we're gonna talk about the East. We got a lot to talk about because the Caps. Let's touch on the Central. I'm excited to talk. Yeah, it's a battle in Florida, bro. That's why I'm eager.
Dude, Florida.
I got to watch a couple of Florida games, and man, they're the real deal. I really think they can make a fucking run, bro.
Yeah, man. Barkov is fine. I feel like Barkov has been so close. He's got 8 goals on 20 games, 13 assists, 21 points. I mean, I feel like he's so close to coming alive. He's right there. And Barkov was a big deal 2 seasons ago. Last season, you know, he was injured last season, right? Was it last season he was injured, or he faded off last season? But I can't remember. I feel bad. But yeah, man, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
I don't fucking remember. I don't watch Florida games that often.
Yeah,
but my eyes has definitely been on Huberdeau this year, dude.
Huberdeau, yeah, man.
He's only got 24 points. He's not up there in the top of the league with Matthews making a push. But listen, Huberdeau is fun to fucking watch, man. It's alongside Barkov and Hornquist, who's just a fucking workhorse. You got beauties like Duclair stepping up, playing his role, 10 points. They're a fun team. Winberg, all of them, bro. Yandel fucking is a stud. Goes from being supposedly being a scratch, and then, you know, breaking his Ironman streak to now he is fucking a producer. 13 points so far in 20 games played.
And let's talk about Florida's tending, bro. Sergei Bobrovsky, 6-2-2. You know, 3.0 game goals against, 8.99 save percentage. And they're splitting time over there with Dreger as well. He's 7-2-1. I mean, these are 2 tenders that you're rolling back and forth, and confident starting the game with either one of them, man. They're not having trouble down there at all.
Yeah, nope. Sitting at 29 points. I'm sorry, and 20 games played. They're tied for first with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is just doing what they do. No Kucherov, which is crazy that they started off the season without Kucherov. They had no Stamkos last season. It's like, holy shit, you know, like one thing after a fucking another. But Stamkos, I believe, leads the team in goals with 10. I want to see this guy break out. I'm a big Stamkos fan. I'm hoping he puts up a big year. They have some sick ass fucking unis down there in Tampa Bay too.
The all black, bro. That
all black or the throwback blue they wore, bro, recently with the stripe on the fucking shorts is so hard.
Yeah, man. And again, we got to talk about. I'm just big on tendies today. Look at Andre Vasilevsky. Goals against 1.75, 2 shutouts. Save percentage of 0.938. Let's go, son. This guy is carrying them again. We saw him do it in the playoffs. This kid is unreal, and they're riding him like a workhorse, bro. He's 12, 3-1.
Yeah, but right on all their asses, Carolina, bro. Carolina's at 27 points, and they're the real deal. They've been a threat very consistently the last four seasons for sure. I really think that Carolina they have a potential to make a run this year. Like, I don't like to speak positively on Carolina. Just, you know, that's just how I am as a Caps fan. But yeah, the way that Aho, Trocheck, you know, they've got some skill down there that can really, really step out.
Look, we talk about it all the time, and face-offs is one of them. They're 54% on face-offs, but they're second in the NHL, 6th on the power play, and on the 13th in the penalty kill. Dude, the goals for, they're 7th. I mean, these guys are they're firing on all cylinders, and this is a team. We talk about puck possession really changes the game. That's something that Carolina does, man. Is they hold, once they get that puck, they hold on to it, and they fire a lot on net. They really do, man.
Yeah, I was just blown away when I'm going across the stat board here when I was like getting stuck here, is that Chicago is blown away with Chicago sitting in fourth place. Everything that they've gone through, no captain this year with Captain Tays. Patrick Kane is a stud as always. He's just stepping out down there, but they're in fourth place with 26 points. That's just crazy to me. I didn't think nothing of them when they first started the season. The way they were playing, it was like, oh my god, it's gonna be a long season for Chicago, and now they're in fourth, bro.
Right. Yeah, Chicago again. It seemed like they fell flat right away. Like you said, no captain. Kaner came alive. We talked about the Spinorama last week, and I mean he still got the razzle dazzle in him. So this is and Chicago is one of those teams we know they're dangerous, and if they get on a streak, they can really pop off. And they need it at this point, man. They've been struggling. They've been kind of in this slump. It feels like for the last while. So who knows? Is this their year? I don't know, but they can definitely make some waves. So.
Yeah, they're definitely making it interesting and can at least go in as like one of those teams that's there to knock people off, like they know they're out, but they're gonna still play their game. Kane's sitting at 31 points, bro. Buffalo native, shout out.
DeBrinket's behind him with 21.
Stud. Patrick Kane is a stud. Unreal, man. And just the fact that his goals are still highlight reel worthy. It's not like he's just producing, you know what I'm saying, putting points on the board. Like he is still the Spinorama just blows me the way he's mastered that shit, dude. It's unreal to think about.
And again, tendon man, Malcolm Subban down there, 6 games played, 3 wins, 2 losses, 1 overtime. Dude, it's great to see them utilizing him. I think he's still an upcoming goalie. I feel like he's not quite 100% yet, but you get him a couple more. I feel like another season or two. I feel like he really be dialed in.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Kubalik too, up there with 17 points for Chicago. That kid's fun to watch, man. He
man.
Not afraid to go to the net. Got the hands and has lungs for days. I feel like he's always out there with a jump.
Yeah, that's where you get rewarded though, is when you're crashing net like that. That's how you get rewarded when you're sticking with the boys and getting the pucks deep on the net. That's where it comes from.
Yep. Central rounding out the bottom, you got Columbus and Nashville, 5th and 6th there, 1 point difference with Columbus in 5th, and then Dallas at the bottom with only 16 fucking games played, 16 points. Like literally, just a couple more wins and they're gonna jump up to fucking 4th or 5th here, and have 4 or 5 games less played. It's crazy how far back they are. 4 or 5 games. Yeah, some teams I'm looking here. Columbus has 23 games. And Detroit having the most played in that division compared to Dallas's 16 is like that's a fucking lot.
Yeah, man.
Especially in a shortened season.
Yeah.
These guys are playing almost every fucking night. It feels like.
Yeah, especially with Dallas, it's almost like how they're going to catch up, how they cram it in.
They're going to have no nights off going into the playoffs. That's an advantage for them, huh? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Or not, and they're going to be fucking dead going into the playoffs. One or the other.
So how do we feel about Detroit still rounding it out there, man? It's tough to see guys like Ryan and Larkin, man, and just they're doing the bunch of
Bobby Ryan, I think, is just building value in himself. I don't see him staying there long. Larkin, though, obviously taking the C. He's a franchise guy. He's got to have faith in what the front office is telling him and what he's seeing. You know what I'm saying? The 2 trails of like what's happening, day in and day out on the ice and in the league, and then what front office is saying they're trying to do and their goals for the future with the team and building, and they've got to meet up at some point, right? Or at least get fucking really close. I think just Detroit's they're not going to make anything obviously this year. They're probably 2 seasons out from making a playoffs again. I really believe that.
Right.
Maybe next year they can make a crazy run, but just based off the way they're playing and where they're at with their players, and they're rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? It's
tough.
Yeah, it's just tough because original 6 almost in the playoffs every year, like as we grew up as kids, especially through the 90s, like, you know what I'm saying? Like unreal, the talent we saw there. One of the only select teams to have 2 players at the same time with over 700 points and goals. Like that. It's just it's wild. It's wild to not see them, to be them at the bottom, but it happens. It's got to happen for a rebuild. No way you're just rotating guys out so consistently that you don't fall off, and every year you're in the top. But Washington's done it, right? Washington's been there.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Washington, let's fucking roll this train right in the East. Washington reclaiming the number 1 spot in the East. 21 games played, 28 points, coming off a big 4-point victory over New Jersey this weekend, starting the road trip off right. How you feel about Washington? I know we talk a lot about Washington, but to keep it short, what are we thinking, man? Oshie's coming alive. Ovi's coming alive. He was on the board today. Ronald was on the board today. Got one for the birthday kid. Carlson saves the game with his ass. I mean, the Caps.
Samsonov getting the fucking
motion.
start.
Yeah, how do we feel about that? I mean, I didn't feel terrible. The couple that one squeaker on the blocker side.
He looks he looks a little shaky, but that's to be expected. He's coming from COVID. And he's got to get his timing down. It's the first game. I think we start him again.
Yeah.
I think we run him right back through the system. He's got to get him back out there, get him some time. I think he should play next game. I think they're on a 2 or 3 day break after that back-to-back this weekend versus New Jersey. So that's plenty of time for him to recover. I think he should get the next start, and then we judge. He's had a game. Yeah. He's had now time, 3 days practice, and, ready to get back out there. Let's see where he's at. After that, though, then the question mark gets really big, because if it's not good and he doesn't play well and these keep squeaking by ones he could have, should have had, it's another conversation, and thank goodness we have Vitek back there. But Washington is in the first in the division so far, so it's kind of – and the crazy part is Kuzi's out. Ovechkin, it just scored his first goal in, I think, 7 games. Doesn't he only have 7 goals this year, I think?
7 goals. But
and Caps are in first place. What? That just shows you the depth that the team has.
Yeah, the bigger story here is someone who we feel like is often underrated, Nicholas Backstrom, man. 25 points in 21 games, 10 goals, 15 assists.
699 assists. He's one away from 700. Him and Ovi will be the next. Speaking of 700 players, like we talked about Detroit, we'll have 2 players with 700 in either goals, assists, or points total. That's crazy. And he's produced. He's given most of his assists to Ovi, obviously, and it's not to take away from him and the player and the passer and the playmaker he is, but definitely helps when every time you're making that beautiful pass, that the guy on the other side is the greatest goal scorer of our generation.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's something that's going to have to carry this team to the playoffs and through the playoffs. They got to keep everyone healthy and everyone firing on all cylinders here. So it's definitely something we got to keep our eyes on.
Boston, though, in second place, bro. We won't touch on Caps that long. Unless you want to do something. I know we talk about them a lot, so I feel bad.
We're good.
All right, let's move. Yeah. Boston is in second. They're right on the Caps' ass. Pasta is a fucking stud every fucking year. Dude. I love watching him play, man. His personality is just great.
With Bergeron, Pasta, Marchand. Marchand's leading the team with 23 points, man. This guy's got 10 goals, 13 assists. This is another guy who we hate to play against, but would love to have. And he's making his point on this team with Bergeron, dude. McAvoy. The Bruins are scary, bro. The Bruins are definitely a scary team this year.
Yeah, they are. Not to go back to the Caps, but we're talking about the second place team here with 59 goals for.
Right.
Caps have. I didn't know the Caps have 73 goals for and 69 against.
Wow.
We light teams up, but if we could just get this goaltending thing figured out, we're still a +4, 73 and 69. But if we could get this goaltending thing out, the fact that we've put up 73 goals is unreal.
We'll circle back to the Caps real fast on that. I noticed today, me and Stevie B noticed a lot today. Orlov got beat 5 times today. Every time the puck was on net. Carlson got fried a couple times today. Our defense is weak, man. It's not as strong as it used to be. I don't know whether or not these guys are lost a step. I mean, Orlov, I feel like is a roll of the dice nowadays. But watching Carlson get burned twice today, I was like, oof, that's bad. He couldn't even just keep him outside. So it's some of these things that's what the little things like that have got to change. We've seen Vitek stand on his head for us multiple times, and some without all those saves, and we got to start blocking some shots and just keeping them outside. I don't know. I feel like we got to tighten up on that back end. We got a great forecheck. It disrupts them on their breakout, but I feel like once they get in the zone, we're a little weak there. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. All right, off the Caps. We said we weren't going to do this anymore. We said we weren't going to do it anymore. Third place, though, Philadelphia, sitting there at 25 points, right behind Boston by 1. It's close in the East. 28 points for Washington, 26 for Boston, 25 for Philly, and then in fourth, 24 for the Islanders. And you got 23 points, and fifth is Pittsburgh. It's a close battle, bro. It really is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Pittsburgh, they're kind of on the struggle bus. It feels like with injuries and just kind of keeping things together. Malkin and Crosby still not firing off at 100%. And then you got the Rangers below them. The Rangers feel like I feel like the Rangers are on the struggle bus this season, man. That they just can't get things going in the right direction for them. It kind of. What do you feel? I know that's the divided household over there, but I know she's got to be complaining. What do we feel over there about the Rangers?
What's up with the draft pick, man? Is this kid a fucking bust?
Is
Like
he?
where
I
everyone,
don't know.
that's been my biggest thing when I watch them. I guess because you're seeing all these other first round draft picks do so well. You know, McDavid's and
Right.
Taylor Hall. What the fuck? And this kid's, barely scratching the surface with fucking 4 points. Do you think he's a bust before we talk about the rest of the fucking team? Because Keandre Miller's fucking defenseman, Rook, has more points at this point.
I don't think he's a bust, man. I think there's a lot of pressure on him. They expected a lot being number one pick. You're throwing right into it. Meanwhile, I mean, look at someone like just to compare like Trevor Zegras, man. I thought he was the real deal from Get Street. They've just letting him clown around. It seems like in the AHL,
Yeah, but he comes in first NHL game in that shootout too, and he produces.
Yeah,
so they let that marinate just right. I feel like.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe they rushed Lafreniere. Maybe he needs a year. Maybe next year he'll really have his sophomore year. He might really come out of a shell. Who knows? And especially being a condensed season, it's hard again, man. In so many facets of the game, as far as not getting comfortable with the team and not being comfortable in the NHL. Like that comes with seat time, and he's getting it. But I feel like it's taking a little longer than elsewhere.
Yeah. Capo Caco also with only 3 points now. I'm seeing that. Their top guy, Panarin, taking a break. Some sketchy shit going on with Panarin.
Yikes.
Catching
we could do a conspiracy episode about Panarin, bro.
Taking some political smoke from Russia about apparently physically abusing a woman, but the woman never went to the woman never went to the police. There's no report. She denies it.
Long story short, he's outspoken against Putin and in support of another politician there. And apparently Putin ain't playing around with that, being known that he's here in America and that's outspoken. So that's the conspiracy. Putin's trying to tarnish his name, get him sent back and get him locked down in the gulag.
Oof, tough. Hopefully everything going smooth and get him back on the ice and everything goes safe for him and his family. Everyone is doing well. Ryan Strome is second in points on the team with 13. Rangers are also a rebuild team. Goalie, they got a great team. Adam Fox, I think, has 10 points. Keandre Miller, Lafreniere, if he really starts to produce, you got players like Kreider that are constantly going to produce. They have a good team. They can make a run. We saw what they did to Washington, right? They have our numbers so far this fucking year. It feels like, and they're not playing terrible fucking hockey. They're 7-9. It's just a short season. So, the fact seeing them turn it on and become a different team, we're all here and far between. So I don't think it's gonna be enough. But they're in 6th, so you have to respect that. There are only a few games. They have 19 played so far that they could get on a little hot streak and be up there quick and fighting for that 4th spot, because that's all you got to do. You ain't got to be number 1. You just can't be number 5.
Just don't have to win the whole thing. Just got to beat you. But yeah, man. So, and rounding out the bottom of that division, New Jersey and Buffalo.
We just tore New Jersey up. I'm not impressed with them.
What can we preach about them? I mean, these are teams
Buffalo
that have
is
the
a
assets,
joke.
and they're not clicking, they're not firing. So let's just shift out into the wonderful Wild West division.
Wild West,
where there's not a lot happening because there's not a lot of hockey being played. It feels like this is the division where a lot of teams only played 18, 20 games, 17 games, a little bit behind over here. But Vegas is topping out that division. Vegas looks pretty scary this year, man. And they're rocking their terrible reverse retros that they've earned in 3 seasons, I guess. But it's whack. But they're topping now. How do you feel about Vegas? They're scary or what? I don't know. Is this real?
Anyone watching this officially knows that you hate Vegas based on that. I was so savage. You're just nothing positive to say about them, even though they're number 1 in their division right now with 25 points. 12-4. I think they're the real fucking deal. They're plus 15 right now, 51 goals for and 36 against. Marc-Andre Fleury is the flower. So he's going to be in there. We've dealt with his ass. They got players like Stone. They got players like Pacioretty. They have players that
Carlson.
Exactly. They have some great players out there that are really playing good hockey, and they've been together for a season or two now, and I think they're gelling. They've really bought into the system out there. Vegas is a threat, though. But my favorite so far to watch has been obviously in second place, Minnesota. Minnesota, bro.
Minnesota has been so much fun. I've been waiting to talk about this team so much. Dude, Kirill Kaprizov, how much fun is it watching that guy play hockey?
Wow.
When he gets the puck and he's moving, dude, them hips, how many circles did he take? Like 3 cycles by himself before he scored that goal. I mean, dude, watching him play hockey is so incredible, dude.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And their youth is at the top, like you want to see. Like we were just talking about with Lafreniere and Capo and New York being at the bottom. Kirill Kaprizov and Jordan Greenway, 14 points. Kirill is 17. They're leading the team in points, and this is a second place team. They've got players producing: Zuccarello, Fiala, Rask, Hartman, Foligno, like all these guys, approaching the 10-point mark. That's good. You know what I'm saying? Because there's still a lot of hockey to play. So these guys keep playing that way. They're putting up 20-point seasons, and you got 5 or 6 guys putting up 20 plus points. It's a deep team.
Yeah, man, for real. And look at their 10 as well, man. Seeing Cam Talbot back there getting starts for him, 4-2-0. It's good to see him back there.
Yep, Matt Dumba getting the OT winner the other night. That shit was filthy. They had the LA versus they played against LA in their reverse retro jerseys, both teams.
Yeah.
So sick. I love seeing that yellow just alone. Let it's got that old school hockey feel. To seeing that yellow, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Even when it goes to like high school teams and shit, like that yellow gives you that retro vibe, and to see that purple and yellow and the green, that shit was hard, bro. That's so sick. I love these reverse retro. I think it's one of the best things the NHL has done. Seriously.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm real happy with that color combo. It's sick, and seeing it on the ice, there's nothing else like it, dude. That's right there at Dallas for me, man. Dallas has so many damn jerseys, but dude, they got fire ass colors, bro. That's all I can say. They really do.
Yep. But in third place, you got St. Louis, 24 points. They're tied in second technically with Minnesota, but Minnesota only has 18 games played to St. Louis's 21. So we kind of think the way things are going, they're going to stay in that second place spot. They're also plus 13 compared to St. Louis, who is breaking even at 67 for and against. They're a good team though. They got a good boss bench. We know that this team is picked up heavily on the D with Petrogano being gone and picking up Torrey Krug. I think they can still make a push even though they're in third. Absolutely. I think this is obviously a strong playoff team. I guarantee you they make the playoffs. Yes, but as far as making a cup run, I think their tenure's over. I think they're not one and done, but
I don't know. I feel like they just got to have a little bit more. They could have a little bit more. I mean, with Shen and O'Reilly firing off, I mean, they just got to have a little bit more steam coming up. Zach Sanford, they're looking for some production out of that guy, and there's definitely some moves they got to make, and some guys got to come alive. But I don't know. I mean, you've got Jordan Binghamton back there, and you've got Ville Husso back there as well, and this is a team that might be able to do it. We know what Bennington's capable of when it comes to playoff. That guy stands.
Yeah, he went on a little fucking tantrum the other night, bro.
Yeah.
That shit was versus
people commenting about it.
Yes, versus San Jose, who by the way, the other night were those old school teal fucking Shark jerseys. Those are so hard, bro. Those were also beauts to see. Dubnyk said something to him on the ice. He's like told him he was being a fucking baby, essentially throwing a fit. Players, a lot of critics and shit saying that he's not Patrick Waugh. He needs to chill the fuck out. But hey, man, guys, we want a fucking cup. You know what I'm saying?
No, you gotta be hungry, right?
You gotta show a little grit, show a little passion too. Like he gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be in there, battling it out. In fourth, you got Colorado though, 23 points.
They're fucking teams out in the West, man.
Yeah, they're one win away from jumping up and taking second from Minnesota and St. Louis. Only 18 games played as well. They're 11-6 and they're plus 13. They're the real fucking deal. McKinnon is no fucking joke. His shot is unreal.
Dude, McKinnon's his capability with open ice possession he's dangerous. He can score, I feel like, from anywhere.
Yeah, and
then you got Cale McCarr, man, out there. He's again. I know I feel like I said this like 18 times, but he's one of those guys who just when he creates space, he draws defensemen to him, and he just leaves. It makes people open. When a guy like that's got the puck, man, that you got to cover McCarr. And talk about someone dancing a tightrope on the blue line. Good night, son.
Yeah, no joke, no fucking joking. Not to mention they still got the likes of Landeskog, Kadri, Burakovsky, you know, just to name a few.
Rantanen.
Yeah,
it's a scary team, man. I feel like they're right there. They're definitely cup worthy.
And they have been for the last few years. It's got Washington vibes. They got the star McKinnon. They've built a team around him. They've got the goaltending. They've got a, you know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, look who's in net. Capital native Philip Grubauer,
Stanley Cup champion. He knows what it takes to win. He came in clutch that first round when Holtby was shaky. Don't let no one ever forget that. Grubauer helped us win that fucking cup. He's a stud. Finishing out the bottom of the West, though, you got Los Angeles in fifth, who have seemed to found the fountain of youth with Jonathan Quick, Dustin Brown, and Kopitar playing real good hockey.
Some vintage LA looking hockey right there, man. It's we haven't seen LA dominate in a while, and hopefully this brings some life to that team, dude, because they need it. They need it.
Yeah, 100%. Kopitar with 23 points, 4 goals, 19 assists, and Dustin Brown, 11 goals, bro, 17 points. Man. He's looking good. And then you got the likes of Drew Doughty up there with 17 points.
Oh, Drew.
Yeah, a little pissed he didn't make the Canada spot. Alex Lafaleo and Kimpe and Jeff Carter.
Yeah.
They've got players producing all over 10-point marks so far. Alex, Adrian, and Jeff both with 4. No, Jeff's got 4 goals, but Alex and Adrian 5 goals. This team's producing. They got fucking wheels with Athanasiou. They picked him up. He hasn't broken the 10-point mark yet, but you know he will. That guy's always in position to score. I'm just blown away that these names, we were talking about Carey Price and all these big guys going out, and it looks like LA, their vets are taking it to the next level again.
Yeah, it's what it takes, man. It's what they're hungry for it. They know the time is. I feel like everyone's going to be chasing these 1-year contracts or this, especially as these guys get older. Man, I feel like that's going to be the new thing because the young speed is where it's at nowadays. But you can't pass up on that IQ and that ability. So I don't know. It's definitely a different side of the NHL for sure.
Yeah, Jonathan Quick in between the pipes, 5 and 3.
Yeah.
.903 save percentage, 2 shutouts so far this season, man. And then you got Peterson right behind him with 4 wins so far this year.
We feel like shutouts are something that are not going to happen a lot in this league anymore, man. The talent is so good. It's so the shooters are going to shoot. Potators are going to potate. It's crazy, man. I feel bad for tenders. I really do. I got in that discussion with Ty or someone on Facebook or on Instagram on one of our posts. I was like, I feel terrible for goaltenders. I feel like none of them stand a chance. These guys are so good. They can shoot from anywhere. They're getting screened. People are deflecting pucks.
The crazy part is I just saw people were talking the other day. They were debating if they should make the net smaller or the goalie pad smaller. You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
What could you imagine?
Nylander's goal the other night, he had a triangle between his elbow and side of his body and blocker, like the smallest hole. And poof.
Yeah.
Like, what? You want a bigger net? Matthews would fucking destroy people.
Not even fair.
Would not be fair.
Enough, bro.
It would not be fair.
Enough.
Yeah, because they're still going to be shooting kind of the same motion, aiming for that same spot. Because now, if they miss that spot where they would have sniped before, they have more room. Yeah, it's going to be so much easier. There's going to be so many more goals that would have been off. You know that, like, no.
As a beer leaguer, I approve. As a beer leaguer, I approve. Capital Clubhouse better buy them all.
Yeah, no shit, man. Anaheim, Arizona, Anaheim, and San Jose rounding out the bottom. Arizona 21 points though. Technically a win away from taking that 4th spot or tying Colorado. Arizona maybe making a push. I don't know. 9-9. We'll see. -8 so far this year. They gotta fucking find some goaltending.
Yeah, Kessel. I mean, they've got some shooters up front, man, but they're definitely having some tender issues and
also another team with some sick ass sweaters though.
Oh, dude, it's my favorite. The all black. It's insane.
The purple Kachina is fucking hard.
The Kachina. I want it. That rounds out sports.
Yeah.
Man, a lot going on in the NHL. It feels like the playoffs are getting closer and closer. I mean, they are factually, but I just feel like they're right around the corner. But it's like every game matters, man, and we're seeing a lot of teams. There's going to be a lot of teams that deserve to be there that aren't going to be there this year. I think it's going to be a weird year.
I think it's really could be anybody's year. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. Obviously, we're pulling for Washington, but like the fact that they're in first place and Ovechkin hadn't scored a goal in 7 games, and he only has 7 goals in 20 games, 22 games, whatever it may be. Like, what? And Washington's in first, and like we've seen it before. We know what it takes. Gotta have 4 lines. So when this type of shit happens, you're still a competitive hockey team. You can't be relying on that one line, that one player. And man, it's nice to be on the receiving end. But we've seen it before. We've seen it so often. It don't mean shit. First place don't mean nothing because we won it year after year after year after year, and it didn't mean nothing those years. So we'll see. Playoffs is going to be another beast. I wanted to talk about the one thing though. Now that we've touched on the whole league, we'll go back to Caps real quick. How are we feeling about Evgeny Kuznetsov?
I feel like Kuzi's got
he's done, right?
This is almost a make or break year. I feel like we've been saying that for the last 2 years because we can't wait for him to come alive, and hopefully he comes alive as in playoffs. Like we can't hope for that. We know what he's capable of. I don't know, man. When you look at him play, sometimes I feel like he doesn't even care, especially here. Like I feel like he's just if he's over it, go back. Just go back to the KHL and enjoy your time. I know he wants to play with Ovi. But I mean, is it worth it? Just I feel like he's puttering around out there.
Yeah, like almost like he's just waiting for Ovi to leave so he can leave.
Yeah, it's weird. I get.
I mean, but maybe that's the type of. Maybe this is what happens to a team. We're in unfamiliar territory. Maybe this is what happens to young players when they win their cup early, right?
Right.
Look at well, no, because then you say, well, look at Verana, and he is flourishing, getting better every year. So. I think we were having a talk with Sean, and I was saying he's never going to be worth more than he is now. Every game he's going to lose value. He's out now. He's injured. Maybe it's time to start thinking about getting rid of him and starting the rebuild. Wouldn't you rather have a rebuild started with Ovi and Nikki in the lineup and a team that's already in first place without Kuznetsov? You can't. That means if whoever you trade for, it can't get any worse.
Right.
He was out on COVID. Now he's out on injury. He hasn't been playing, his best hocky. Maybe it's
that draw for that. What are we going to be drawing a top level center for that?
He's a first line center. He's even the way he's playing, he's still a first line center.
Right.
You got to get somebody big for that.
Steal some youth from somebody.
Who knows, man? Like really, who knows what you could get for him? Just because. I don't know. Center is such a hard position. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it really is.
You really don't want to fuck that one up. You really need a great hockey player to fill that spot. And Kuzi, even when he's not carrying, it's effortless to him to still be better than 90% of the players on the ice. That's the one thing. Like, you tear him apart. He looks like he doesn't care, but yeah, he's still also out there doing whatever the fuck he wants when he wants to. It's just he doesn't have that step. He doesn't have that behind the shot. He's not. It's just that little bit is off. If it is, I don't care mode, which I doubt. I think they really care. Right. I think he cares, I just don't know if he's got it anymore,
Yeah. I don't know. Well, hopefully Lavia brings it out of him or something when he comes back and the drive's there or something because we're going to need it. But, yeah, man, I don't know. We'll see what his future. It could be. I feel like it's almost too late to trade him now. I don't know. I know.
Never too late to get rid of him, scrap by.
Right. But I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes, man.
Yeah, man, we'll see. Interesting year as always, but the game itself is just getting better and better. I hope the NHL does more of these outdoor games. The season is so short. We're already looking to turn the corner for playoffs. That's crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of hockey headway, man. I like the way the NHL is going, man. More goals. I like it.
Yeah, it's more exciting that they're getting more stuff on Sports Center because these goals. These guys are so fucking good. It's insane. The snipes.
Do you think ESPN should carry hockey? Are you a fan of ESPN and you think it should carry hockey? I know it'd probably be big as growing the game to get it in front of people that normally
expansion,
don't.
But we have to.
But like, if that brings along ESPN analysts, I'm not a fan of ESPN analysts.
Well, I agree with him. We got to stick with what the NHL had to figure that out with what they know. I mean, there's a couple guys that are fans, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I love the personalities at like the NHL with what they do with NBC so far.
But but sometimes I feel like the NHL misses on that because some of the broadcasters are boring. Like some of the teams' broadcasters, like they don't have fun. Like we're so blessed with Joe B and Locker, and we talk all the time where it's like when they're done, it's going to be such a different atmosphere.
Buffalo was like that at the beginning of the year. I don't know who the announcer was. It was their longtime announcer, I think, the old guy. But like he would just talk the whole time, and the other guy barely spoke, and it was just like, what is this? I did not enjoy watching Buffalo.
They need to sell the game, man. Like they need to sell the game. I think they're the first thing because that's what you hear is those guys. You know, and I feel like it's not just color commentating. Like they just got to sell the game, and that's exciting when they get excited. And I don't know, man. I feel like the NHL is just missing a little bit of that.
DC's blessed all the way around, though. Even on the radio with John Walton, man, such a great voice to hear. He did some NBC games, and I would love to see him on TV. Not a bad-looking beauty, but has a great voice, and the way he calls the game, I love it, man. Listening to him call the 2018 Cup game, like, rockin' my baby.
Definitely, dude.
All right, man. So big news. We got an interview lined up here. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this interview. Man, it's next level. I feel like it's going to take the pod to the next level. I'm excited to have him on the show. I know you're excited to have him on the show. And let's get into it, man.
Yeah. Without further ado, let's bring in this beauty.
All right, guys. Well, welcoming to the podcast. It's our first professional hockey player. This is a big deal. We're excited. I feel like a kid in a candy store over here. We got John Schiavo. I'm rocking with Shavs. Welcome to Men Behind the Mitts, man. Thank you for joining me and Silk. We are definitely excited to have you, and thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Well, first professional. That's an honor.
Yeah, that was good. That's why I wanted to save it. I wanted to save it before the intro, man. But yeah, first professional hockey player. We are obviously. Look at Silk. This kid's ear to ear over here right now, man. But thank you so much, dude. But before we get rolling, man, feel free to plug your IG, your website. Feel free to go after it.
Yeah. So IG is jschiavo44. That's actually on Twitter. I got a Facebook, TikTok now. Been working on that a lot lately. Enjoying it. And then my clothing line, me and my partner Kelly own at Goodwood Hockey, and then website's at goodwoodhockey.com. So doing a lot of stuff there. We have a nonprofit through our clothing company where we're doing camps and clinics for free and trying to just grow this awesome game.
Man, that's so great. When we came across your webpage too, I was like, yes, he's into coaching because that's something that we're trying to steer into next. Is like I used to coach when I was younger. Got away from it, of course, with time and everything, but hoping to get back to it, man. I know it's fun to just instill to make sure they're having fun, with the game and everything, man.
100%. That's like the biggest thing I preach is like, if you become a fan out of it, not an NHL player, that's totally fine. Like, I just think the game is such a beautiful game, and as long as you're trying to grow it and make it a better community, that's all that matters.
Oh yeah,
man, you're speaking my heart, bro. I'm so happy. Dude.
Getting in the field early.
Yeah, man. It's good to have people like you in the community, man. It means a lot because I know I started at 4 years old. I started young. I don't have near the talent that you have. That's why I'm a chair jockey or whatever. But rolling right along. I know Silk started young, so definitely, man. The younger is better, man. It's so good to get them out there.
For sure.
But also, man, let's just jump into your career. You're currently with the Huntsville Havoc. Right now, rocking your current season, coming off the championship season last season. What was it like making that transition to Huntsville for you?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of bounced all around. Beginning of my career, I started as a pro at 21 years old, unconventional of junior A hockey. It's been a heck of a ride, a blessing all the way through, and to play in Huntsville is an incredible experience. I mean, winning that championship here, really tight-knit community, hardworking community, up-and-coming community, and they really back the Havoc. So we have a huge fan base. I mean, a lot of people like, come on, hockey in the South, and I mean, they totally embrace it and love it. So being a community that really supports it, our stadium's rocking. Obviously, we still get some fans with COVID, but a little bit less. And when we won that, the pictures that we had celebrating were absolutely amazing.
That's awesome. You guys were still able to have like the fans come in with COVID, because that's something that we don't even have leagues up here where I'm at. Like I think Silk's playing in pickups and stuff like that, but we're still even struggling with leagues. So what's that impact like, man? I know COVID's just got to be changing everything for you guys.
Yeah, I think it's such a big impact. I mean, everyone wants to play, and I think the biggest thing is just trying to be as safe as possible, and that's how we were able to pull off the season. And then when you watch any minor league system, whether it's hockey or baseball or anything, they need fans to get revenue to pay us and to pay their bills and everything like that. So,
right.
I mean, even this offseason, I think there was a lot of, thinking if any minor league was going to get off the ground, and luckily we did. And I think we're at 44, that's my number, but 44% in the stands, and everyone's wearing a mask, and, a lot of different rules of how you get into the rink, and,
right.
trying to separate everyone in the building. And we have a nice big arena, so it's very spread out, which is good. You could tell that they're trying to, do the right thing for the fans.
Right.
And, as long as everyone's safe, I think, more power to it. And we're lucky that we're down here that can't play, in your guys' cities. And I know where I'm from in Long Island, it was a bunch, things still closed down, no games, figure out what to do. So definitely exciting for us, and, just trying to stay and do it the right way.
I got a question. During the I guess the pre-COVID, before you guys determined you're going to have a season, 2 questions actually. Now I'm thinking about it. Were you guys involved in like, if you were going to make a run at it, and what type of, rules were going to be in place, and were masks considered for you guys? Because we see it in the younger, like high school guys, some of the leagues are making them wear masks. Was that something considered for you guys as well?
It's crazy. I don't know if the mask thing was ever considered, but I saw Division I hockey coming back, and that was really close to us, like, knowing if we were going to start or not. And a lot of them were cages or fishbowls. And in junior, I wore a fishbowl in a cage throughout my career. And I said, like, I wouldn't care. Like, that was just something that came out of my mouth, saying, like, I don't care if I have to take off my visor to play this season and do something like that.
Right.
And I recently just saw my buddy playing overseas, and the whole team had fishbowls on. So that was their way of playing, and they have no fans in the building. So they're pulling TV revenue, and they're all wearing bubbles or cages, and the cages have a mask, and the bubble you just have to wear the bubble. So yeah, it's actually something that I did think about. I think a couple other people thought about it. I don't think they wanted to do it, the pro leagues. I think they want to, show face and, promotion and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I would have been up for it as long as we were playing, and that's what it took. But the other hand of that, I think Alabama, especially my team, we were really, really pushing to play. I know other teams, old team I played for, Quad City, in Illinois, like, there was almost no chance. Months and months ago, they already knew, like, there was no possible way they could have any fans.
Wow.
City, was more locked down, where, Pensacola Ice Flyers in Florida, they had no rules, basically. So it's like complete opposite scale, of the spectrum. And you want to be able to play, but it was just sad that there was a lot of players, and a lot of good players, that are out jobs this year because of maybe where their team is located. You know what I mean? So those players ended up being free agents, but there's only so many jobs. And I was lucky. We're really lucky.
It's going to have a ripple effect too, all the way down. It's going to be so much harder to make these teams now because of this hold up from COVID. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out long term.
100%. And who knows if it travels into next season, and what other teams back, who knows what it's like then. And there's a lot of players that haven't played many games this year, or played a couple games, and, kind of been bouncing around trying to, keep a job because there's so little of them. It's definitely not easy. And I know it's frustrating for a lot of guys, and it's sad to see, because you don't want your season to end early and you not finish your season. And then the next season comes around so many months later, way late, and then not even in it. So you don't even have a chance to, really get on a team late.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine your senior year, maybe in high school, you're making a push, especially for if you're getting scouted D1. Oh my God. And to lose your senior year or something like that, like, just
100%. Wow. That goes for
it's going, like you said, it's going to change it all, like, for years, all the way down the road. Like the NHL, not only for the NHL, but I mean, just these like collegiate levels, everything's going to just change for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I'm interested to see. I don't want the season to end, but when this season does end for all of us in all the leagues, kind of like that restart time. Are they gonna, it's
Mm-hmm.
really short off season compared to a really, really long off season that we had. And, things will just be so different with training or getting back to it. Some guys probably might not even stop training. Just, keep going.
How many games did you guys lose?
I think we knocked off 25.
Do you prefer a shorter, like more compact season, or would you rather push it out a little bit?
I like the more games, but how we're playing this year, we have more of like an NHL schedule where we're playing more games in a tighter span, and I love that. I think like, you're playing 3 games a week spread out, or Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. I love that. I think the more games in a shorter span, the better. But I know they made the shortened season in case something went wrong and games had to change. They weren't scratching and clawing to make up a lot of games. So I think this year, perfect amount game wise, number wise, to have a successful year and it, not be butchered around.
Yeah, and you catch a buzz, you can ride it out a little bit longer, huh?
Exactly.
All right, well, we got really far on the COVID. I didn't want to jump that far off your career path, man. But it's good talk though, because like there's the questions of the bubble and the mask, and we've seen all of, like you said, from college to everything. But I want to jump back, like to your junior days, like before you got there. Like at what age did you know where like this was an option? Like you were skilled, you were working hard, and you figured out like this is a pursuit that can actually happen.
It's funny. It all literally starts from roller hockey.
Right.
Wasn't even like a vision of mine being a professional ice hockey player. I think like every kid dreams of being in the NHL.
Right.
And I would say that as a young kid, but I wasn't even like playing ice hockey seriously yet. Like I was playing, rec ice hockey or single A for fun. And I was playing roller everywhere. And that was my passion. And I was like, oh yeah, like my dream to go to the NHL. And I was on wheels 5 times a week and ice 2 times a week. Like how was that? Out. I think as I got into juniors, I was blessed with so many incredible coaches, and that's when I started finding my passion for ice hockey at like 15, 16. And I knew there was kids that were playing AAA their whole lives, and I was like, all right, like a little bit of catch up, but that doesn't hurt me. I've been playing roller at such a high level my whole life that that was the scary part. It was more like, okay, well, what's the path here? Like there's so many paths to get to the pros, or paths to get to college hockey. And at that time I was like, oh, what is my path? Like, what is my, way going to be? And as juniors went on, I think the dream was changing here and there, whether it was college hockey, dreams of the NHL, all this stuff. And then luckily I, just out of all luck, literally getting into an NHL camp at the age I did, that really opened my eyes. That was when I was like, okay, wow, like, pro hockey, NHL, whatever it is, like I really, if I could do this, there's really, really a chance. And those last 2 years of junior, the 2 opportunities in Islander prospect camp, which were, dream come true then, that's when it really opened my eyes to be like, okay, no focus on this, still playing roller, like my passion, but there's some where I could go with this. That's
awesome.
So when you were playing roller, I know we're a couple years your senior, but when you were playing roller, was that like, were you heavy in Narch and like those tournaments back then, or what was like your heavy tournament roller? Like what was going on back then?
100%. Like I played Narch, State Wars, and Tours, the 3 major
State Wars, yeah.
Like literally since I was 7 years old. Like till the COVID year, I hadn't missed one. Like that's my 100% my thing. Everyone knows I love roller hockey, how much I want to grow roller hockey, and show the rest of the world why I love it so much. And, it's kind of hard. Like that's the pinnacle, right? That, and then the world championships and playing for your country, and that's really the top of the top. There's pro league Europe, France, Italy, Spain, and they're awesome. They're pro roller leagues that go on, just like the ice hockey season, pretty good pay, all that stuff. So that was like another dream of mine. Like, okay, well, this is my dream, to be the best roller player I can. And then I was playing with so many roller guys that play ice hockey, whether it's Pat Maroon that I played with, and Pat Cannoni, he was the star in the AHL, had a chance with the Wild. There were so many guys I was looking up to that I was like, well, they're doing it. I could do this too. So
That's crazy, man. Like I've liked Pat Maroon for a long time. So I met him at a Narch tournament when I was way younger, like 18, or I think I was like, man, I want to say 18 or 19. It's been a while, but I met him and I was like, they were like, man, that guy's insane. Like he does MMA, roller hockey, like he plays ice, and then like I was like, holy shit, he's in the NHL, and like I skated the same floor. I was giddy over skating the same floor as Maroon, you know. So that's awesome, man. So when you came up, because I played like PHA. Like,
Yep.
were you a part of those leagues as well? So I was on a minor team in PHA. So like I was not the pro team, but the minor team or whatever. So man, I had a blast with that season. So I mean, I know roller hockey's fun, man. It's definitely got a special spot in my heart. I know it's got a spot in Silks. That's where he started, I think. And that
100%. Yep. And back then for me, like the USA thing wasn't like, it didn't even cross my mind because everybody knows ice. And then to see how it's grown and the way the game has grown, roller hockey, like back in the day, like it was like, could it eventually be an Olympic sport? And I 100% believe so. I think it could be an Olympic sport.
Yeah, I think we all agree. All the roller guys agree. The other thing, that goes with that is the social media helps blow it up more now. Like, back in the day, roller was on ESPN. RHI and all these leagues were televised. It was all pro ice guys in the summer. That was their training.
Right.
That was like just past, me being able to remember, but my dad, being able to tell me about it and me watching old clips of it. But besides that, even Narch back in the day, like there was no social media to keep up with guys in California. What I was just lucky that at 15, 16, I was traveling the world already for roller. I was sponsored at the time. I was traveling, playing with that team. And, it's funny, as I played in the PIHA for the Suffolk Sting. I don't know if you guys know that team. And I played in the AHL for the 495ers. And So I would legit, my dad, thank God for my mom and dad, because I would play a game at noon, for my junior A team. And my dad would drive me to Jersey to play against like the Iska Grizzlies in our PIHA game or our AIHL game.
Yeah.
Because certain amount of roller games to play in the playoffs, and the playoffs were after the ice season. So like that was my whole life, driving from roller rink to ice rink.
Man, that's so wild, dude. I remember playing the 495ers. They were so fucking fast. It was insane. Like I was like watching these guys like, holy shit, they just got nothing but gas, dude.
Yeah, I remember the AHL like had to change a rule so I could play because I was so young.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say I probably didn't get to see you because I was young. Like I was 19. I was drinking then, so maybe I was 21. So maybe if they changed the rule for you, maybe I did see you. Yeah, I love that. That's wild, man. So everything started with roller, and that's awesome that you were able to play both pretty much the whole time. Like that works out. Do you ever suffer with transitioning back and forth from roller to ice at all?
I was so used to it, I think.
I was going to say, as much as you were playing.
Yeah, as much as I was playing, doing it day to day, kind of like switching or, every other day. I think in the beginning it was like, okay, I really need to start focusing on getting my speed and my edges better on the ice, because I felt like I was behind, whether it was like kids had lessons and I was just self-taught. So like I had a different type of stride. I still have a different type of stride. But it works for me. And I think the more I keep working on it, like just turned 27 and I literally feel better than ever on my ice blades, like bar none, like that much better than last season. So I think that exciting part is like, I feel like when I'm in roller skates, like I'm more comfortable being on my feet. And then when I go to ice, it's like, all right, like let's dial it in and keep growing here.
Right.
That's so awesome.
Do you ever dive into the Mars blades? Have you checked those things out? I just wanted to see if your opinion on those bad boys.
So I've actually been working with them, and the only reason why I'm working with them is I think they're that incredible. I started with the O1, which is like the off-ice trainer, so it helps you feel like you're on the ice, and that's when I first like, wow, they got an incredible product, because when I would go back to, I actually felt better. And then I was working with the owner and Mars Blade team, and they're absolutely outstanding. And I helped them develop the new roller one, the R1.
Whoa.
Done that for about a year and a half. We launched it during the pandemic, and it was still a fantastic launch, and a lot of people learned about it. So basically the quick difference is R1 is made for basically playing and performance. So that's what I wear in all the tournaments. And when I'm teaching clinics and stuff on inline court, or, more roller specific. And then the O1 is all for like, for me, working out, feeling better, like when I go back to my ice blades. And that's more of like my trainer, a little bit heavier, all things like that, more rocker. So it's more working your legs and your core. Where then when I play the world championship, now we have the R1 where it's all peak performance. You know, the little bit of rocker in it that you choose is for all performance, not for a workout, lighter, everything like that.
No, I bought the 01, man. I was a believer. I bought one. I bought them over the pandemic when it first started because everything was closed. I was like, I got to hit I was using literally tour code ones that were 15 years old, the old
throwbacks.
Yeah, I was using those to skate. I was skating 12 miles a day. And dude, I blew those boots out so fast. I was like, man, these things are already dry rotted. Like, I was like, this is all I had. I bought the Mars blades and I've been preaching by them ever since, but they really nailed it. The technology, because I was going to say, I used to struggle with the transition going from roller to ice. And ever since the Mars blades, it's almost like I'm more comfortable on ice because I really am getting that feel on asphalt and tennis courts. It's insane, man.
Yeah, cut this clip and send it to Mars Blade, because every time we hear that exact statement, when people see my statement, they think it's fake. And I literally, the first day I ever skated on the 01, I skated on the 01 and I had a men's league summer, ice league game. And I remember my dad watching me. My dad watches me all the time. And my dad said after the ice game, like, what have you been doing? Like, because he hadn't seen me training ice that much this summer. He just saw me play that game. He's like, man, what have you been doing? Like, you look unreal on the ice. And I was like, I skated on my Mars blades for the first time for 3 hours today. And I feel the same. And he was like, no way. One day I was like, Dad, I swear. Like, I'm so comfortable on wheels, but I wasn't comfortable on the O1s because it was training me to feel more comfortable when I got back on my blades. And it was, that, like, Per Mars was working on this for years and years and years. And he literally nailed it so hard with this 01 frame. It's unbelievable.
Well, we're going to clip this whole damn conversation because, dude, it's literally the way I'm describing to people. Like, when standing still is probably the hardest thing. Like, you first put them on, you're like, whoa, this is weird. You feel everything. But as soon as you take your first stride, your first crossover, you can literally, you can feel the chassis roll. And it's so incredible. And like me and my roommate will play Stevie B, or actually Denim Dangler now. we'll play, one-on-one on the tennis courts and stuff like that. And I will cross over so hard skating backwards. I have to remind myself, like, chill, bro. You're on a fucking tennis court right now. Like, that's how hard I cut on those bad boys. Yeah, I swear by it, man. They're awesome.
Yeah, you could literally match up some of your words to, like, the first day Mars Blade did the interview with me and I got on the rink. You literally named it the same way because the feeling is the same for everyone. It's just if people are like, come on, are they serious? Until you get on. Like, once you feel it, you're like, wow, like, everything they're saying is very spot on.
There you go, Silk. Signed, sealed, and stamped.
Bro, you know me. Oh, man.
So it's funny. I've got you. So I have a roller tournament coming up. You think I know those 01s are heavy, but can I play a tournament in those? I got some different wheels.
Oh, 1 trillion %. 1 trillion %. Especially someone that already feels comfortable on ice skates and then gets those and feels the power and stuff. The weight doesn't matter. The biggest difference for me is, like, I don't want to be at the world championships and I don't want to have on the 01 that's this little much heavier and it's more working out. But I think anyone else, like, you're at a tournament and you're playing AAA or you're playing, the highest men's division pro. If you feel comfortable in the 01, it's ready. You're ready to play in it. So,
okay, cool.
If someone's comfortable in the 01 and that's how they feel better because they're an ice guy, rock them. But if you feel better, in less of a rock, then you go R1.
Man, such a great informational podcast, dude. Like, it's so good.
I can't wait to hear how you like them in the tournament.
Yeah, man, I'm going to get some. I got some addiction wheels coming, so I'm going to give those a shot. I haven't played in a roller tournament in 12 years. It feels like it's probably been that long for real. But I'm excited, man, because we haven't had any ice. So I was like, we got to do something. I need some form of competition. I was like, I'm going crazy over here, man. Like, we have to compete. Like, always me and Denim, we compete every day in the garage. GHL league is pretty serious over here, man. We throw some big checks in the garage and rip some nasty pucks. But yeah, man, I'm really excited for the roller. All right, we'll shift gears, man. I'm so sorry. That was so good, though. So informational about the Mars. I seen you rocking them in on your Instagram. So I was like, I got to chip that in there somewhere. And as soon as you mentioned the R1, I was like, do I have to get those next two? But yeah, man. So tell us about your world roller hockey games championship. So you've been playing roller this whole time, and was that the peak? Like, was that your pinnacle so far in the roller career?
Yeah, I would say like that's what I, kind of dreamed of for years, like playing and wearing your country's logo on your chest.
Yeah.
There's personally, nothing bigger than that. And especially in our sport, that was my first one was IHF. So that was by far the biggest you could dream of. It was, USA
I didn't
hockey.
want to skip that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the whole 9 yards. And for me, it actually started years prior to that, because I was playing pro, at a young age where, at the tournaments and stuff. So when I was 18 years old, I was actually on the world junior team, which is ran by another world organization. And that was out in California. And we played against Czech and all the countries, but it was the same men's version, but juniors.
Right.
And that was like my first taste to like wear the jersey. I was honored with the assistant captain, one of my good buddies, Scott Savage.
Wow.
So to do it there, I was like, okay, we got second place there. I believe it was the next year I got invited to the men's tryout. Didn't make the team. And I was just like, I thought I had a great camp. I did all the right things. I was young and I understood they want to go in an older group. And I was like, okay, like this is the future though. Like this is this isn't going to last much longer. Like I'm going to be in this jersey.
Thank you for sharing that. For anyone out there that has seen failure, that doesn't mean to stop. Thank you for sharing that. Keep on.
No, it was a crazy, I to this day, like the camp was one of the hardest camps I'd ever been to, because there was so many veterans, and the world team you got the best guys literally in the world. They could pick anyone and there's a chance that, we could win. So when they didn't pick me, I knew I was young. I knew, maybe I need to work on a couple things, but I definitely showed my stuff and showed that I deserved to be there again. And to prove. And it was weird how it all kind of like worked out. I went to Islander camp for the first time, ended up missing my next invite to try out. So it was like the biggest bummer. And then like the biggest boost to my ice hockey career, and like a low for my roller hockey career. And then when it finally worked out, got invited again to tryouts in 2017 for IHF. Chicago was a great camp. I thought I played some of my best roller hockey throughout that camp. And then we end up going to Slovakia and taking the gold.
Hell yeah.
That's so awesome, dude. So that was the IHF before the World Games then, right?
Correct. Yeah, that was 2017, and then the World Roller was in 2019. Actually, 2019 was a couple months after the SPHL Championship, so that was a heck of a ride.
Hell yeah,
man! You got back to back right there, man. That's got to feel good, dude. So I kind of want to touch on that because Sil tapped in on it, man. So like that's kind of something we talk about a lot, is like just facing that stuff like head on, and just not stopping. And a lot of, like you said, like Silk said, a lot of times a lot of people see that failure and they'll have a whole mindset change versus, just growing and tackling. Like you understood where you were, you knew you had to work on this, that, and the other. And then you knew you weren't done though. Like you knew, like, okay, I'll be back here. I'll be on this team, in the next go around. So like, what did you do differently? Did you prepare anything different? I know you're already on the grindstone like 7 days a week, but I mean, is there anything differently that you did to prepare for that next go around?
No, I think the biggest thing was like my whole life, I was so lucky to have so much opportunity and succeed. But you watch all the stories, like my favorite videos, whether it's Tom Brady, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, like you hear their stories. And I was lucky, like I was listening to all these videos and stuff at like 15, 16. And then, like we were chatting about earlier, AHL changing the rule for me to play. So it's like,
right,
I really have it all that hard, or was I just proving myself then, like, hey, I can hang with the big dogs, let me in now. And, you see, but in roller was a little different. Kept proving myself. And then I think at a certain age, whether it was like 18, 19, 20, I was like, okay, where is the peak going to be? Like, am I going to just peak here because that's what everyone's going to expect? Or am I going to, really take it to the next level and grow, whether it was defensively, get my shot better. I feel like I was always working on my hands. So like that was one of the things that was, more at the top for me and still is. But there was so many little things that I was like, okay, when adversity comes, Like, I can't just slide through here and everything be easy. And then I think, yeah, there was a couple tournaments in the pros when I was, 2021 that I wasn't playing as best as I could, I thought, or maybe didn't have a lot of opportunity. And then the world thing kind of knocked me back a little bit, but it was so exciting. Like when you got knocked back, because it was like, I thought it was like a slingshot. It was like, man,
Right.
I got knocked back and I'm ready to run through a wall now. Like it was like the biggest eye opener. So for me, I think what I teach the kids and what I teach everyone that I work with is when you get knocked down, how do you get back up? How do you enter the ring again? How do you fight next round? Because that's the biggest thing. And partially for me is like, it's all about your mind. You already put in all the work. You already trained so hard. Unless you can look at yourself in the mirror and say you didn't put in all the work that you could, or you didn't train so hard, or you didn't do the right stuff and you cut, then it makes sense. But if you're doing all the right things and how hard it worked, then when you get back up, it's all about just your intensity that you bring the next round.
That's something that me and Silk talk about a lot, man, is just you've got to be 100% honest with yourself. Like if you can't do that, then you're not going to be able to do much more. So just being able to have that conversation alone and be like, look, this is what we've got to do moving forward. I mean, I have that conversation myself like once a week. I try to find all these little things. I try to work on it in every aspect. But man, like that's something that I hope people that they hear that, man, and they translate that to whatever it means to them, because that giving up is really not an option. If that's something that you want to pursue and that's something you want to excel at, man, that's really not an option. And the doors that it leads to, like, man, hard work is, I firmly believe in hard work. You know what I mean? If you put in the work and the time, you'll be dealt dividends. That's what I believe in.
Yeah, I fully agree. And I think you said it spot on. It doesn't even have to be in hockey. You guys in the podcast, any athlete, obviously, but I think entrepreneurs and, people that work at a cubicle, like when you look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day, did you give it everything you got, or were you just getting by? Because for me, like, I know like how much passion I have for hockey, whether it's roller hockey, ice hockey, my camps. Like when I'm playing like a fun game against, my college kids I train or my high school kids I train, like I'm having almost more fun than them.
Right.
At all times. Like, because that's just how much I love it and how I'm bringing it 24. There's no, like, that's how much I love it. I'm bringing it. It's, it goes for my social media. I try as hard as I can. Like, I could look back at it and say, like, I did these things because I think it was going to help grow the game. It was going to give, open someone's eyes. It was going to make someone, laugh or think like, wow, how did he do that? Can I do that? Like, those are all the things that, I love living for, because, I'm pushing myself as hard as I can. And I know there's people that sometimes when they look in the mirror, they're just not honest. And you're like, come on, you can dig deeper and you got more. And it's to me, it's like, that's one of the saddest things to see is when you can't, really just dig in and go for it.
Yeah, we talk a lot about like just unused and untapped potential, man. Like people really don't know like how strong they are and how resilient we are, man. Like we were built for diversity. We were built for challenge. That's why we are the way we are as humans. The competitive edge. There's something different in us and definitely with athletes, man. I think that's why sports are so important to kids, man. It takes that drive, that desire, the want to the next level. Yes. Without that, it
so many positives to kids getting into team sports, dude, at a young age.
Yeah.
So many, not just so. It's unreal. Like when me having the 2-year-old, I'm already thinking about it. I can't wait for team sports because that's where he's going to get his personality. That's where he's going to grow as an individual. That's where he's going to become who he's going to become, is when he's playing these sports, whatever it may be. If he's on the ice or not, he will be. But you know what I'm saying? that oh man, team sports is huge. I even started picking up my the old USA Hockey magazines. Remember those?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, I started getting my subscription again, and I'm like reading into them. Like, yes, that's like I cannot wait for this, bro.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's so good for kids and any sport. I think it's a great way to make friends and then just grow as like a human. You learn so many things in hockey.
Yeah.
That I tell kids about all the time. Like when you show up to my camp or when you show up to have a lesson with me, like I don't care if you're late, but if you're late, it's not my fault, first off, because I'm there and I'm waiting on you. and it's my time because I'm excited to be there to train you or to work with you or for me to do the drills with you. So like, that's my time. But if you're late to an awesome, fun hockey clinic with me, and whether they drive or their parents or whatever, like how prepared are you when you show up to school? Then when school's done, how are you going to do that alone at college? How are you going to plan your time when you're at work now at 30 years old? Like it starts there. It starts at, hey, we're having a blast. We're playing hockey. Like, how are you not ready? How are you not on time? And that's why I always like, it's like, I just explained it a couple of times. If they keep showing up late, I'm like, all right, well, the 10 minutes that they're not there, I'm putting in reps. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
They'll see me doing reps.
Yeah.
I'll be like, while you're getting dressed, I was doing reps. So that's the try, and like, I don't try to get them with the words as much. I try to just show them, explain it to them in my type of version, and say like, all right, well, now if you learn, let's see it, like prove it.
Yeah, that would be huge too. Because think about it, you walk in, you're running late, whatever it may be, you're running, half dressed, probably assuming, and coach isn't at the table, chilling, talking to his other parents. No, he's on the ice. He's taking it. He's putting in laps already, bro. You have that urgency. You're like, oh fuck, he's out there. Like, yeah, definitely. I respect that 100%. That's so tight.
Even not getting the opportunity to like to know I was going to a camp, but I used to work at a rink, and like we used to just take advantage of all the free ice and free roller that we could get, man. Like I'd be there 4 hours after we were done working. We'd still be shooting pucks on the roller side because they canceled pickup volleyball. Like we'd still be over there shooting pucks, man. So but I feel like that's where you gotta kind of find that desire, does he want to be? Does the player want to be there? Or, you know what I mean? But I feel like at your level, there's got to be the desire for them to want to be there. Like they know they're working with you. They've seen the things that you can do. They're obviously learning and producing. There's a reason why you're here, why you're there. Man, it's tough to see that, though. I can imagine, but I don't think you can do it any better. Just I'm here, like I'm getting it in. Like that's pretty much as good as you can get.
That's why some of my most exciting things is like coaching at such a young age. Like I started coaching when I was like 19.
Yeah.
So I already like had a little bit of ups and downs in my career already. Nothing crazy, but I was like, wow, I can already start doing this. And I loved coaching. Like I loved, I've never coached behind a bench, but I loved teaching skills and practice and things like that. So I knew like right away, and I still do. Like I literally still love it so much. And I'm excited, for all of that future, because I think it's, there's so many teaching points, but I still have a blast out there, doing it with them. And then I know that the more I'm on the ice, it's helping me while I'm still playing. So
ice time is ice time for sure.
Exactly.
Well, just know, man, like I like you're the kind of coach I hope my kids can have one day. You know what I mean? Like just the inspired coach who's there to inspire and like bring that life out, man. Because I remember like there was sports I played when I was younger. Actually, I quit baseball because my coach was an ass. Like it was not fun. Like nothing about it was fun. Like all I wanted to do was hit dingers, and he was like, "You're not allowed to hit dingers," and I was just like, "Whatever, man." Like it's just when they suck the fun out of it, and I feel like that's something we got to be careful in, especially with youth, man. I feel like you can pull them. I don't ever feel like we want to put anyone in a box. You know what I mean? Like that they're so creative and there's so much they can do. Like we should just be enabling that skill, the talent, versus wait in line. It's tough, man. It's really tough.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think you just tapped into something else that I was thinking that you were saying, that was like all the trick shots and stuff. Like, those things on my spare time. I didn't learn those before I put in the work. You know what I mean? And you get a ton of kids, like you see a ton of kids on social media or whatever, posting their trick shots and their fun stuff. But I guarantee most of those kids are shooting pucks before or getting their workout in. And guess what? The rest of the day that they're messing around doing tricks or whatever, you're telling me that isn't their hand-eye coordination or something. Like as silly as some of these tricks look nowadays and as crazy and outrageous as they are, hey, the kid's playing hockey. He's having fun. That's all that matters.
And it's definitely translating onto the ice. You're starting to see that. It's definitely translating onto the ice. Those You're putting yourself in uncomfortable positions, especially like bouncing the puck around. So when you're going around a defender and you're catching a high pass or whatever, me off the boards, like you're used to that. Oh, I know it's going to bounce this way because I've done that a million times.
100%. Yeah. I just think like if they have a stick in their hand, they're trying this crazy stuff. Like at least they have a stick in their hand and they're outside practicing some, you know what I mean? They're practicing. they're practicing their craft in an unconventional way, and it looks like they're having a blast. So that's truly all that. When they go to the rink, they're going to be excited to practice normal. And then at the end of practice, when you have your 5 minutes, go crazy with all the stuff they just tried in their driveway. Like, I think that's awesome. I love it. I mean, it's the reason why I do trick shots and why I was doing them at a young age, because I just never wanted to stop playing. So I was, whether it was
find the next level.
Always doing something. So
that's so tight.
I was going to say, I'm 32, and me and Denham over here together on Sunday, we must have shot 1,000 pucks. Like, I was like, oh my God, my wrist hurt. My side had hurt. Like, we had just shot we played so many games of puck. Like, no joke, bro. I was like, man, my age is really showing. Like, my side hurts from just ripping pucks nonstop. Like, it's just so much fun. Like, that's what I enjoy to do with my time. Like, I don't even want to watch TV. I don't even have cable. I just have the internet, Like, if I'm not sitting here doing this, like, I'm literally in the garage, we're playing puck, we're making a video, you know what I mean? Like, we've got something going on and like that, man. And the trick shots are something I'm not good at. That's what I was going to say. Like, your videos look great. And I was like, how come I don't have any likes? So yeah, it's just because I'm just hitting bar. And like, you're shooting literally off a tennis court into a basketball hoop. A totally different leagues. Like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing?
Oh, just having fun. Honestly, some of the funnest days and nights in my summers when with my buddies that don't play as much anymore, like I'm playing 3-bar or playing pig or playing puck. Like, I'm just lucky that I get to have this path, and those guys have regular jobs and families and things like that, and I love it. Like, when they come out and they start playing and they get competitive again, and they might be shots and they get really, really frustrated. I'm like, hey man, like, don't get so frustrated. I shoot trillions of these, and you guys aren't training like just enjoy it, man. Like, this is why we all do it. Like, so 100%, that's awesome. You guys do that.
Yeah, man. We have a guy on our Misfits team, man, Uncle Rob, and Uncle Rob's the man. He just started playing hockey 3 years ago now.
Yeah,
this is his third season.
Yeah,
and like fresh, couldn't even skate. And he was like, I'm on the team. And we were like, yeah, man.
Bro,
like,
and the great story is, like, we were the team. They're like trying to hurt us. They're like, oh, he's never played before. Put him on the Misfits. They always win.
Yeah.
And then we get him, and he's a great guy off the ice. And we just start working on little things with him, teaching him a little bit here and there. And then his passion for it alone, just boom. He's developed at such an old age. It's crazy, bro. Like, it's never too late for hockey.
It's burying pucks, dude. Scoring his first shift, his first goal, and remember his first real game, his first shift, he scored his first goal.
Yeah,
like, dude, it was
way to
just
go,
like
Mario.
Like shit like that, man. It's so cool. And I'm like, bro, like it's so fun to just watch him learn, and he's having so much more fun. Like, dude, like because now that he's getting better, it's like you see it. He's like really enjoying playing versus before. He's like, I fucked up. Like, nah, man. Like, you're good, dude. Like, we'll get another back door. It's no problem. Like it's so much fun watching people just learn and grow and get better. Like, it's so much fun.
That is such a cool story. I love that.
Yeah, Uncle Rob's the man, dude. One of the best guys on and off the ice. His son plays with us too. Sorry to blow out his whole spot, man, but nah, he's definitely the man, dude. It's so good to have him.
Hey, let's talk. Let's get back on track a little bit.
Yeah,
you're having a I would say a great year. What are you, second in points in the league right now, I think, or something? 18. Have you I don't want to say this and sound like an asshole. Are you still pushing to make the show? And if you are, have you upped your off-season training? Like, are you doing things constantly, doing this or that to try to still get to the next level?
Oh, I think getting to the next level is 100% my goal. Like, there's no doubt about it. That's my goal in ice hockey and roller hockey. Get to be the best player I can be and get to the highest level I possibly can. So then the day I say I'm stepping away from playing competitive ice, or moving on from that, and I could always look back and be like, I literally gave it everything. I was the best possible player I could be, and this is where I ended up, and I'm super happy with it. So 100%. During the season, actually, I have an awesome workout partner. Shout out Alec Brandrup. We get in early, we get our lifts in, we do what we need to do in the summer. In the off season, I'm always grinding, whether it was this summer at my garage gym and backyard setup and all those things. But in the season, it's nice to get in the extra work while you're here, right? So we're getting in early, getting our work in, getting the team stuff in, extra mobility, whether it's yoga, stretching, the whole 9, core at night. I believe that it always pays off, and I didn't have the best start to the season at all. Like, I was very upset. I put in a crazy crazy off season. I thought I couldn't have trained with better guys. I lived most of the summer in Minnesota. I thought it was one of my best off seasons ever for training ice and getting ready. And then it was just a rough start for me personally. Team was doing well. I think a lot of guys were going through, the COVID stuff, and maybe it was thinking and getting back into like real playing. Like there was so much. And I was like, man, I put in all this work. Like what happened? Kind of shook that off and was just like, all right, let's just focus here, keep grinding. Like it's going to come. Like there's no way it's not happen. You just need to keep working. So change some things up, kept my grind and now we're here, and it's a good feeling, but you're never satisfied, right? It's a great feeling. It's always nice to, feel good with the points and things like that. I try to stay away from honestly looking at it because there are so many ups and downs. I heard a player talking about it the other night. Like they had a goal, a fight, an assist. Their team won. They played a great game, and I remember him doing the interview after, and he's like, "That's already in the past." Like that's how crazy it's. Like I had a great game. It was one of my best games in a long time, but that could change.
On to the next one, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's where I'm at. I'm very happy with how the year's going, and I can't wait to see how the finishes.
Awesome, man. Well, I hope man, you got the ethic, you got the work ethic. It sounds like you're grinding, man. It's awesome. So do you get to take advantage? It sounds like you get to travel a lot. I mean, with what you're doing, do you get to take advantage of like going and do little camps in the off season and like traveling around? Is that something you get to take advantage of all the time?
Exactly. Yeah. Pre-COVID and stuff like that. I'm on the move, always on the move, doing camps all over. I have so many friends that I've played with that are all over. So I try to mingle with them and meet up and do something near them or their rinks. And now I have so many even friends through social media that, they do camps or companies and all that stuff. So I think the biggest thing in our future with my partner, Kelly, is our Hockey for Good camp. It's where we want to literally go and donate all this equipment to kids in, untraditional hockey markets. Hockey is such an expensive game now, whether it's on feet, on wheels, on the ice. We want to get a stick in their hand. We want to teach them how to play. We want to teach them the basics and grow from there. So we started that in 2019. That summer was like one of the best summers ever. Win an SPHL Championship, win a World Championship, play all the roller events. I built a business in Long Island, a training facility, a mini roller sheet gym. So then trained all summer. We did these camps for the first time, dressed about 75 kids with hockey equipment. Did one in one in New York, and then go back to the ice season, getting all ready for the ice season to end and have another incredible summer. COVID comes. So didn't not too much, but it's given us so much more time to plan, to grow. Lucky to work with so many great companies that, maybe not a lot of people know of yet.
Right.
We have this one company we just started working with, Integral Hockey Long Island. And I've been collecting broken sticks. So the one hardest problem we had with the camp was we didn't have like a lot of good sticks. We had a lot of sticks, and it was great to give them to the kids. But as you guys know, a stick that's $360 nowadays, if you're starting and you see that, you're going to go grab a soccer ball, basketball, a football, even a golf club is cheaper. Like a hockey stick at $60 that could break in one shot is out of one face off. You know what I mean? So that's our problem. So now we collect tons of sticks. This company works with us to put them back together. They actually refurbish them.
That's awesome.
That's a huge positive to what we're doing. So it's going to be able to give the kid a huge, great, high quality stick. And that's what we're going to start with, instead of maybe a used, cut down, maybe kind of broken, but it's his first time. So we're just getting his hand. So that was a really, really exciting piece to our puzzle, and we're growing. I just can't wait for all of this to get a little bit back to normal, and just to look on these kids' faces when you give them hockey gear for the first time is beautiful.
Yeah,
that's so damn exciting, dude.
You guys
that just got me all warm.
You guys taking broken one pieces and putting blades in them too, like flipping them and cutting them and doing whatever you can.
100%. Yeah, we have a ton of blades, like a ton of wood blades laying around. We've been collecting since like early 2019.
Wow.
And we gave a lot of it away in those first camps, and then we kept getting more, and then COVID, we haven't taken too much, but we found ways to take it and get it sanitized, and now it's like just kind of sitting in storage, waiting to be used again. But yeah, the funny thing is Integral Hockey actually takes that shaft and can put it back together with its original blade if it was like broken in half. You got to check it out. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's something I couldn't believe. But if we have shafts or one pieces that are long enough, we throw in the wood blades. If we have a couple composite blades, actually hard to come by a blade these days. Flip the shaft, that was what I was using when I was young. So
me too. That's why I asked. I heard broken. I was like, shoot, as soon as the toe broke on it, just chopping it and putting the blade in the other end. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, that's what I grew up on. I think that's partially like how I got to this position was like my mom and dad worked so hard, and I was so lucky for so many years to have decent equipment, or it was a ton of hand. And I honestly loved my hand-me-downs.
Me too.
Like from whether it was older pros or guys I looked up to around the rink. They would rip a little hole in their glove, and maybe they were sponsored. They gave it to me. I would use that thing until there was no palm left.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So to me, like when I started thinking about this program, it just started by like me giving my own stuff away. And then I was like, well, besides me giving it away, like let's teach them. Like, and it just kept growing. And now the point that we're at, it's, I'm so lucky to have sponsors and have all this stuff. And I've been getting, a lot of equipment for a long time, for whether it's free or, through other people. That I was like, all right, if we can give back in this way, this is how I started. I started getting those hand-me-downs. My parents didn't have to pay as much. And then bang, here we are. So
yeah, that's a blessing.
Definitely. Dude, I was a played again sports kid growing up, man. I still have pads that were Alan May's. My dad picked them up at a Capitals swap one time, bro. It says Alan May shoulder pads, his old ass Jaffa foam shoulder pads that I wore for years, bro. I grew up on playing against sports because I was one of the only families, like Jesse knows, I was one of the only families that were in the area. Like I had to play in a different state. Maryland had no hockey when I was a kid, so like we had to travel to Virginia. And I was
playing on a team in Jersey. I played on a team in Florida, and it was so weird because there was no hockey in Maryland. So I just show up to these tournaments, and I knew nobody. And they're jiving, obviously, because they go to school together. And I'm just like, I'm just here to play. You guys needed a guy, and I'm the guy. Like, different atmosphere. And it's so great to see that it's grown now, especially for us, the state of Maryland, where I'm in Buffalo now. But we've had teams not only start to grow there, but see success. And that's such a great thing for that state. Seeing more states that aren't known for hockey, like you're talking about where you're at, and embracing it is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's huge. I think all these states get a little taste of it, and if they could pull off even a deck hockey rink or a roller hockey rink, like once they start feeling it and getting out there and playing or watching it, I think it's addictive. Like kids don't want to put the stick down. Kids want to play in the driveway or just stick handle or sauce it around. Like there's so many things, that you could do. So, well, we might as well put Maryland on the list to do a camp together, eh?
Yeah, man, we love it, dude. It's great. I just found out our local rink, the clubhouse down here. Shout out to them, man. Craig Lachlan from the Capitals. He does a camp there. He takes like 5 to 10 kids on the ice. It's real intimate, nothing crazy, and he just goes over technique and stuff like that for skating. And I'm always like, man, I got to take a day off and just go down there and just hang out, see if I can just talk to him for 5 minutes, but it's always in the middle of a week. At 8 a.m.
That rink has really helped that area because now the NHL has also stepped in with their program where they're try hockey, and you get all the equipment for free every time you go. That's huge. And I've been to a couple of those events to help out, and to see the type of people that show up, it's not what you're expecting. You know what I'm saying? It's all boys, girls. It's all the spectrum is wide, and to see them when they come in, they're trying on their gear, and then like the 4th week where they're getting twigs and they've already got their elbows, and now they're seeing all this stuff happen. They're putting everything together, and they're scoring goals. It's like there's different kids are leaving that are coming in. It's so awesome to see the game change lives because it's the greatest game in the world. It really is.
Yeah.
100%. That's actually exactly how I started my thing. I worked with the New York Islanders a ton after I was in my 2 development camps. Obviously, I played in their minor system for a quick minute, and I have such a good relationship them, and that's where I ran all my camps. I would help run their camps, everything. We have such a good relationship still, and they do the NHL learn to play, and I help with
so awesome
girls club, and I helped with hockey in Harlem and all these things. And that's where I was like, okay, there's plenty of people doing this, but let me just add on in my own, my own. And that's when I loved it. I just used all my connection. I used all my friends. Like, all my buddies are the ones that help me coach at these things.
That's
so
it's
sick.
Right.
It's just, it's different because I don't think there's many doing roller or deck or just like trying to do any type of hockey.
Right.
But what the NHL is doing and what all these NHL teams are doing when they show up to Let's Play Hockey and they're giving you all the gear, or you're paying a very cheap price to get all the gear for the first time, 100%, as long as they could try it and they have that first little attack with it and you get all the stuff for a cheap price or free or whatever, then you could continuing on it and loving it.
Yeah, 100%. If you could see that type of effort on the roller side, roller would blow up. It's so much fucking cheaper, bud. And the fact that we can throw on the blades outside, I don't gotta wait for a game. There's no having to get ice time. No, like, let's throw it on. We'll swap out wheels. My dad's got different wheels. I swap these out, change my bearings. I'm good. Let's go.
100%. And that's why I'm the biggest advocate for roller. I also think it's why I'm here in ice hockey. Like, that's just the full proof that, if you even start ice hockey late and you're not focused on skating, you never get a lesson. Like, my first ice skating lesson, I was 21. I paid for it myself, like, out of my,
that's so wild, man.
So, like, and I knew, like, then I was like, oh, I could use it. Let me try. Like, and it was great for me, but like, it was all roller, like stick handling, the whole 9 yards, roller hockey. So that's why I always say, like, I can't wait to keep growing the game of roller. I mean, it's literally the biggest passion of mine, as I've said 10 times already on this podcast. And I think there's a ton of people that do agree. Like, you guys are agreeing. Yeah. So many people, if they would just play on a tennis court, like years and years back, you rarely see kids in the, I don't want to say this because it's such a broad spectrum for me to say, but there's not as many kids just going to the local park or they're on their street. They're just playing pickup roller hockey or pickup
100%. Street hockey is almost dead. It's sad to say. Like, that's what I grew up. We didn't even have a net, but we use a recycling bin. We take the neighbor's trash can and we'd lay it down. Like, that's how I grew up, man. Like, we were playing street hockey, and I said that before I moved to Buffalo, coming from Maryland. It was always football, basketball in our area. And once I moved to Buffalo, like, I started getting giddy because in the neighborhood I live in, like, all the driveways had hockey nets out front. And I was like, yes, I am where I belong. Like, you really don't. It's sad, right?
Yeah. One of my best buddies, the MD Media, Colby Collier, he's in Nashville, and it's awesome. I can't wait to like go there in the off season and meet all these kids and stuff. His whole little neighborhood, like in Nashville, there are probably 5 nets and 5 different driveways, and there's multiple kids, and they're playing out there in the street. And when he posts stories on his Instagram about these kids in Nashville playing in the road, like, just loving street hockey. And when I mean some of these kids are young, like, I don't even know if they're walking that well, and they're already skating around, like, just hacking it around with their older brothers and stuff. And that's what I love. Like, I think it's so awesome to see. Like, it's so funny. Like, it might be weird, but when you drive by like 1 or 2 kids just in the street playing, like, you want to get out and go play with them. Like, you want to shoot and sauce it around, like.
Man.
The weird guy walks up the driveway. Can I play?
Yeah. Well, that's me and Denim, man. We skated the neighborhood the other day. Like, we took our sticks out, Biscuit. We're out skating in the neighborhood, and kids are riding bikes by, and they're like, "You guys are good." I'm like, "Nah, we just like to have fun," And then Steve's like, "We got to start a roller hockey league." Like, he's like, "We got to start a street league out here with these kids." And I'm like, "Yeah, bud. Like, we're gonna have
that's the energy. That's the energy.
Like, yeah, man, it's so cool."
I think you always see it. There's like a video on YouTube, whether it's Crosby and other, like, they show up to some house, like a season ticket holder, and the kid, "Hey, you want to play street hockey?" And literally, it's not just for the camera. Like, Crosby's grabbing a random stick and like, "Let's go play." How everyone, I feel like that's how everyone feels. Like, that's our roots, and that's why we love it so much. So it's so cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great way to leave out this podcast, man. Is the true love for the game. Just getting after it. Like I said, I shoot pucks all the time. I know we hit as many pickups as we can. You skate every day, off and on, man. It's so good to hear, and it's so good to hear that you're putting so much time back in, man. It's so rare, like when you really get to hear it and sit down with someone, and I can tell there's so much passion, like, you know, when you talk about it, dude. It's so good to hear. It's refreshing. Like, you've lifted my spirit, like, no joke. Just like I feel like I got to do more now, you know, like, no joke, man. So thank you so much for your time, Shavs, dude. Silk, I mean, what do you got, man? I thank you so much, man. I'm blown away.
Nothing, man. This guy's been, I'm just ear to ear grinning, dude. This has been fun. Dude, you're having a killer season so far. After talking to you, I'm ready to tie up the boots right now and get training myself, bro. I see nothing but success in the future for you, especially with your company, Goodwood Hockey, and everything you guys are doing is really awesome. That's how we kind of caught wind of you with our own brand. We came across yours and it was like, all right, this is tight. They're good people. And so it's thank you for coming on and talking to us, man. We hope you the best in the future for sure.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Absolute blast chatting with you. Obviously, it's always good just shooting the breeze. Can't wait to one time in the future meet up. Hopefully we can
hell yeah, man.
Up for a little pickup game, probably roller, and
I'm in.
Who knows? Maybe we'll bring a camp to a town, one of the little towns that you're in.
Dude, that'd be so great. I'm definitely gonna send you a message to let you know how I do with those Mars blades in the tournament. I'll definitely let you know.
Please do. Any videos too? We'll send those over to Mars. They might share.
Maybe I'll give them to someone else to rock. I don't know.
Just get a few teddies. You'll go bar down. I've seen you. You're good.
I'm always bar down. The shot. I'm not worried about the shot.
When's your next game, John? When's your next game?
We play Friday, Saturday on the road this weekend. 2 games on the road.
Nice.
Awesome,
all right,
man. Well, look, man, like we said before, I hope you have a great rest of the season, man. I hope your future is bright, man. I can tell you're after it. So, you know, like I said, it'll pay dividends, bro. So keep after it. Again, thank you for your time, dude.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Had a blast. Seriously. Can't wait to do it again.
Awesome.
Thanks.
The boys from Men Behind the Mitts just want to say thanks for listening. And as always, be sure to follow us on all your favorite social media outlets at Men Behind the Mitts. Brought to you by Silky Mitts Hockey Club. Support the boys at silkymitsHC.com.